It is a piece of advice that has lasted the test of time, but it is widely overlooked in today's culture, which is filled with constant noise and where everyone seems to be shouting their goals and desires from the top of their digital mountain. This is a piece of knowledge that has prevailed throughout the course of time. According to popular belief, Marcus Aurelius, a well-known Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, was the one who spoke these sentiments, which are connected with the Stoic philosophy. The exceptional advice that they provide may be of great use to anybody who is interested in achieving success in life, developing resilience, and advancing their own personal development. In terms of symbolic importance, they are abundant. Number 1, the power of silence. In a world where social media platforms push us to share every minute of our lives, it may be paradoxical to keep our goals and objectives to ourselves. However, it is beneficial to do so. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, was aware of the effect that prudence and quiet may have. He was of the opinion that the more we discuss our goals and objectives, the greater the likelihood that we will lose our vitality and become less singular in our concentration. Take this into consideration. When you present the world with your lofty goals, you are immediately confronted with a plethora of viewpoints, uncertainties, and expectations. In a sense, it seems as if you have prematurely given up your energy and dedication to a project that is still in its early stages of development. Marcus Aurelius, in his Stoic wisdom, would urge us to guard against external validation and to keep our ambitions close to our hearts in order to retain our energies and defend our aspirations. Stoicism is a philosophical school of thought that holds that our pleasure and sense of satisfaction should not be contingent on the opinions and actions of other people. The idea that genuine satisfaction originates from inside is something that Marcus Aurelius brings to our attention in a culture that is driven by the search for praise, recognition, and validation. When we let other people know about our goals, we expose ourselves to the possibility of being influenced by the thoughts and judgments of other people. Let's say for a second that you have a desire to be a successful novelist. You have been putting your heart and soul into your manuscript, and you have been working on it with great diligence. Your work is fragile at this point, much like a tender sapling that has just begun to blossom. When you prematurely share your goal with other people, their uncertainties, critiques, or disinterest may become like strong winds that threaten to uproot your seedling. Marcus Aurelius advises us to cultivate our aspirations in the soil of our own conviction and devotion to the cause. The only time we should even contemplate sharing our aspirations with the rest of the world is once they have been firmly established and grown stronger. By acting in this manner, we protect our inner serenity and shield ourselves from the arbitrary judgments of other people. The power of obscurity. It's simple to fall into the trap of looking to likes, comments, and followers on social media in this day and age. We frequently experience pressure to publicly announce all of our accomplishments, no matter how little. However, what if we stood back and examined the benefits of obscurity? In his Stoic teachings, Marcus Aurelius cautions us that pursuing fame and acclaim is frequently shallow and transient. He advises us to find contentment in the peaceful satisfaction of our own efforts rather than pursuing the praise of others. We let our deeds speak louder than our words when we keep our plans hidden from others. Consider the greatest intellectuals, scientists, and artists in history. For years or even decades, many of them worked in obscurity before their efforts were acknowledged and valued. They made significant contributions to mankind, improved their craft, and were able to concentrate on their goals by delaying the disclosure of their intentions and aspirations. Developing inner fortitude. Fundamentally, Stoicism is about developing inner fortitude and fortitude. It's about cultivating a mindset that can handle life's turbulence with poise and elegance. We put ourselves at danger of discouragement and disappointment when our goals and ambitions don't work out the way we had hoped. By keeping our goals under wraps, Marcus Aurelius instructs us to arm ourselves against life's unpredictable nature. This does not imply that we ought to be evasive or suspicious of other people. Instead, it implies that we ought to use discretion and pick our confidants carefully. Communicate your aspirations to those who truly understand and support you, instead than sharing them with the entire world. By doing this, you fortify your goals and make yourself less susceptible to outside criticism, failure, or failure-related anxiety. Your inner fortitude becomes a source of tenacity and resolve, much like well-crafted armor. Number 2, the virtue of patience. In his works, Marcus Aurelius praised the virtue of patience. He was aware that big things need time to manifest, and that revealing our ideas too soon may work against our long-term objectives. We might be tempted to cut corners or make snap judgments if we are very anxious to announce our plans. Let's say you have an idea to launch your own company. You haven't released it yet, despite months of planning, preparation, and study. Should you give in to the pressure of revealing your ideas before you're ready, you may act without thoroughly weighing the ramifications. In this case, being patient means holding off until your intentions are clear and well considered. You may give yourself the gift of time by being patient and resisting the need to tell people what you are planning. It's time to polish your concepts, acquire the required materials, and make sure your activities are in line with your long-term goals. This methodical approach, based on Stoic knowledge, makes success more likely. Number 3, the art of surprise. There's a certain charm to astonish people with your accomplishments. If you keep your intentions to yourself, you may surprise others with how much you've accomplished and even beyond their expectations. Aristotle understood the value of this element of surprise. Think about the tale of a talented musician who dedicatedly practiced alone, never disclosing their desire to become a virtuoso. Awe and adoration were shown for their expertise and brilliance when they eventually appeared on a large platform. The element of surprise increased the accomplishment's impact and made a lasting effect on those who saw it. Until you're ready to reveal them, keep your intentions under wraps to build suspense and intrigue. You let your deeds speak louder than words, and you may proudly and modestly share your successes when the moment is appropriate. The evolution of ideas. Similar to living things, ideas require time to develop and change. We expose our emerging concepts to the harsh environment of uncertainty and criticism when we prematurely disclose our plans. Marcus Aurelius exhorts us to grow and strengthen our thoughts by allowing them to grow in the rich soil of our brains. Consider the novel writing process. Your concept is brittle at first, like a tiny sapling. If you share it too soon, others may become skeptical, and you may lose interest in fostering it further. But if you nurture your concept, give it space to bloom, and see it become a strong story, you'll be more capable of navigating the obstacles and iterations that accompany the creative process. You may allow your ideas to grow by following the Stoic rule of keeping your plans secret from other people. You give them time to grow and change before exposing them to the outside world's criticism. Learning from failure in silence. Any path toward achievement will always include failure. Open communication about our goals makes failure visible to a large audience, which may be discouraging and unpleasant. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, presents another viewpoint on failure, one of introspection and fortitude. You may reflect on your mistakes, grow from them, and utilize them as stepping stones to success while you're alone with your own thoughts. By keeping your goals a secret from others, You relieve yourself of the extra pressure to live up to their expectations. This gives you the freedom to try new things, take chances, and accept that you might not be a successful teacher after all. Think about Thomas Edison, who is credited with hundreds of tests before coming up with the successful invention of the light bulb. Had he revealed his objectives too soon and been mocked by the public with every misstep, his chances of success may have been considerably reduced. Rather, he quietly persisted, viewing each setback as a stepping stone to his eventual success. Number 4, the joys of authenticity. Authenticity is a prized virtue in today's world, and Marcus Aurelius's wisdom aligns perfectly with this value. When you don't tell people your plans prematurely, you have the opportunity to be more authentic in your actions and interactions. You're free from the need to project an image or seek validation. Consider the person who openly declares their intention to run a marathon, but lacks the discipline and commitment to follow through. They may receive initial praise, but their lack of authenticity becomes evident when they fail to meet their goal. Conversely, the individual who consistently trains in silence and finishes the marathon without much fanfare is regarded as sincere and real in their behavior. By keeping your objectives under wraps, you become more real in your endeavors, since your motivation comes from inside rather than from the need for approval from others. The value of self-reliance. One more essential Stoic idea is independence. According to Marcus Aurelius, the main sources of support in our life should come from our inner fortitude and resiliency. By keeping our goals a secret from others, we develop self-reliance by depending only on our own discernment and willpower. Let's say you've always wanted to launch your own company. You've prepared every aspect and are prepared to make the big move. You have confidence in your skills and convictions rather than looking to other people for external validation or acceptance. This independence gives you the strength to persevere through difficulties and disappointments. By learning to rely on yourself and to hold off on revealing your intentions till later, you take control of your own future. You learn to trust your talents and intuition and break free from the need for continual validation from others. Focusing on the journey, not the destination. It's simple to become obsessed on the outcome rather than enjoying the trip itself in our fast-paced environment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that life is an ongoing process of development and self-improvement with his Stoic wisdom. Our attention is diverted from the ultimate destination to the everyday actions that get us there when we keep our plans hidden from others. Think about the individual who chooses to take up music lessons. If they talk about their ambitions to become virtuoso all the time, they could get obsessed with the goal of mastering difficult pieces. But if they keep their hopes to themselves and concentrate on practicing every day, they will find happiness and fulfillment in the small steps they take toward their goals. You are better able to live in the present and appreciate the little successes, the lessons you gain from failures, and the journey's transformational impact when you keep your goals from being announced to others too soon. Number 5, the skill of giving too much and under-promising. The skill of under-promising and over-delivering is one of the cornerstones of successful leadership and individual achievement. You give yourself the best chance of succeeding when you quietly work toward your objectives rather than making a public display of your intentions. Consider a scenario where you are given a project at work, but instead of giving your colleagues lofty expectations for the outcome, you keep your ideas and tactics to yourself. Working tirelessly in the background, you make use of your knowledge and abilities. When the project is ultimately finished and shown to everyone, it exceeds their expectations. This strategy is in complete harmony with Marcus Aurelius's wisdom and the Stoic school of thought. You may succeed in silence and let your deeds speak for themselves if you don't inform anyone about your goals. Setting and exceeding expectations in this way can result in possibilities for growth and respect, as well as opportunities for personal and professional progress. Developing instinct and intuition. Both instinct and intuition are strong decision-making tools. Marcus Aurelius thought that we might better connect with our inner knowledge and judgment if we kept our goals to ourselves. When we keep our plans a secret from others, we give our instincts and gut feelings greater freedom to influence our decisions. Think about a big life decision you have to make, like picking a job. If you share your goals with others in an open manner, you could be influenced by other people's thoughts and outside influences. On the other hand, you create a holy place where your intuition may lead you toward the path that is in line with your actual wishes and values. When you keep your dreams secret, you may develop your inner voice, learn to trust your gut, and make judgments that are true to who you are by putting this Stoic idea into practice. This may result in a life that is more consistent with your actual purpose and calling. The significance of sincere assistance. Marcus Aurelius suggests discussing your goals with others with prudence, but he does not recommend total seclusion. He understood the value of sincere assistance from reliable people. Sharing your aspirations with those who genuinely care about your well-being is crucial. Consider the importance of surrounding yourself with a select group of confidants, friends, mentors, or family members who sincerely support your goals. When you decide to tell them about your intentions, you get helpful advice and insightful comments in addition to support. These people end up becoming your main sources of insight and power. You build an alliance network of allies who will encourage you along the way by actively seeking out and cultivating such real support. This deliberate withholding of some of your intentions from other observers guarantees that you will get the support and direction you require without undue exposure of your goals. Gaining expertise via application. Any profession that you want to master demands effort and constant practice. Marcus Aurelius realized that seclusion and quiet are frequently necessary for the quest of perfection. Prematurely disclosing our goals to others gives us the time and space we need for in-depth practice. Think about the narrative of a young artist who aspires to become an expert in their field. Rather than continuously pursuing approval from others via social media or public displays, they commit to several hours of practice alone. They hone their methods, investigate novel concepts, and extend the limits of their imagination. Silent practice, away from prying eyes and other people's criticism, helps them reach a mastery that is unique in a world of mediocrity. Their commitment to excellence and the caliber of their output speak for itself. Accepting the self-discovery journey. Stoicism's emphasis on self-improvement and self-discovery is among its most fundamental features. Prematurely sharing our intentions with others gives us the opportunity to examine our deepest ambitions as well as our strengths and shortcomings. Imagine setting off on a spiritual pilgrimage or other self-discovery quest. If you tell others about your aims in a transparent way, their judgments and preconceptions could impede your sincere investigation. However, you may start a personal journey with pure intentions. If you keep your ambitions confidential, you could find values, hobbies, or secret abilities throughout this self-discovery path that were previously concealed by outside forces. You are free to choose the actual route that leads to fulfillment and self-realization by setting out on your own. Number 6. The significance of time. In the quest for accomplishment and success, timing is everything. Marcus Aurelius realized that holding off on disclosing your goals to the public until later gave you the freedom to decide when to make your intentions known. Think about a company owner who has created a novel product. They decide to wait for the ideal moment when the market is favorable and their product is refined to perfection, rather than releasing it to the public right away. The distinction between success and obscurity may be entirely determined by this calculated time. You may improve the likelihood that your ideas will go as planned and be successful by using patience and timing savvy. You make sure that your efforts are rewarded when the world is prepared to accept them by coordinating your activities with the constantly shifting currents of existence. The technique of giving up. We often run across unanticipated obstacles, diversions, and direction adjustments on our trip through life. Marcus Aurelius tells us that by keeping our goals a secret from others, we give ourselves the freedom to change course and let go of ideas that no longer benefit us. Think about the individual who set out to pursue a certain job route, but, in the process, found a new interest that brought them immense joy. Had they made their original goals known to the world, they may have felt forced or compelled to follow a course that no longer spoke to them. Rather, by keeping their goals to themselves, they were able to accept the new path that seemed appropriate for them. You may be open to the random chances and changes that life brings by learning the skill of letting go and not being bound by strict plans. You let go of the demand for a certain result and let your trip take its course organically. Number 7. Lessons from the Stoic sage. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius considers what makes a Stoic sage, someone who has the whole definition of Stoicism, and what makes such a person. Inner tranquility, fortitude, and wisdom define the Stoic sage. The sage maintains these traits by keeping their goals a secret from others. Imagine the sage from Stoicism putting out great effort to achieve their objectives without seeking approval or affirmation from others. They accept disappointments with composure and quietly grow from their mistakes. Their inner knowledge directs them, and their behaviors are consistent with their principles. We might strive to develop these traits in ourselves by imitating the Stoic sage and using the knowledge of holding off on discussing plans too soon. We may develop more fortitude in the face of misfortune, discernment in our choices, and contentment with the course of our existence. Using Stoic principles in contemporary life, after studying Marcus Aurelius's teachings and the wisdom of keeping your goals to yourself, it's time to think about how we may apply these ideas to our contemporary life. Even though a lot has happened in the world since ancient Rome, Stoicism's ageless wisdom is still relevant today. 1. Use discernment. Share your plans with just those who you want to. Select confidants who share your vision and really support your goals. Look for friends and mentors who may provide insightful advice along the way. 2. Develop patience. Acknowledge patience as a virtue. Wait until your ideas are solidified and fully thought out before sharing them. Make use of this opportunity to hone your concepts and tactics. 3. Pay attention to the journey. Change your attention from the destination to the everyday actions that will get you there. Cherish the little successes, take inspiration from failures, and revel in the journey's transforming potential. 4. Have faith in your instincts. Take care of your instincts and intuition. By keeping your plans confidential, you liberate yourself from the influence of other people's views and let your inner knowledge direct your decision-making. 5. Adopt an authentic mindset. Be sincere in your goals and deeds. Allow yourself to be motivated by internal factors instead than seeking approval from others. Being genuine promotes relationships and trust in addition to self-respect. 6. Seek sincere support. Create a network of reliable friends who really share your goals. Tell those who really care about your goals, and when necessary, return the favor. 7. Develop the skill of timing. Consider carefully when to announce your intentions to the public. Select times that will help you achieve your objectives and increase your chances of success. 8. Let go of inflexibility. Be willing to consider deviations and course adjustments. Let go of the demand for a certain result and let your trip take its own course. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be, as Marcus Aurelius once said. Unite. You give yourself the ability to develop into the greatest version of yourself, a person of insight, resiliency, and inner peace, by keeping your goals from others public until later. Now is the moment to embark on your road towards self-mastery under the eternal guidance of Stoicism. Number 8. The practice of Stoic virtues. Knowing how to apply the Stoic virtues in our everyday lives is crucial to completely embracing the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic philosophy. These qualities, wisdom, bravery, justice, and temperance, act as a guide for moral decision-making and a life of virtue. 1. Wisdom. The quality of wisdom includes both knowledge and the capacity to put it to use in real-world situations. You demonstrate wisdom by carefully analyzing the timing and consequences of your activities by keeping your ideas from being announced to others too soon. You develop the capacity to recognize what is really significant and worthy of pursuit. 2. Courage. The ability to endure hardship, take chances, and get over fear is courage. You show bravery to resist outside pressure and criticism by keeping your ideas a secret. Even in the face of uncertainty and doubt, you never waver in your pursuit of your objectives. 3. Justice. Justice entails treating others fairly and with dignity. Respecting other people's autonomy and limits is shown when you put the wisdom of keeping your plans to yourself. You give them the flexibility to follow their own paths without forcing your goals onto them. 4. Temperance. Self-control and moderation are qualities of temperance. You practice moderation when you hold your ideas near to your heart and avoid giving in to the need for quick satisfaction from other people. Instead of seeking validation from others, you learn to find fulfillment in your own values. Getting around in the digital age. It may seem counter to the culture of continual sharing to keep others in the dark about your intentions in the era of social media and rapid communication. It is important to acknowledge, nonetheless, that Stoic ideas remain true in spite of modern improvements. 1. Aware sharing. Although social media sites promote sharing, being aware about what you post and when to share it may help you live more in line with Stoic ideals. Think about the effect of your postings and if they help you achieve your objectives and maintain your well-being. 2. Selectivity in connections. It's critical to exercise discernment in your online interactions in today's digitally linked society. Remain surrounded by people who share your goals and principles, similar to the reliable allies in a Stoic's inner circle. 3. Moderation and balance. One of the Stoic virtues, temperance, also applies to your online persona. Avoid the temptation of always looking for outside affirmation by trying to maintain moderation and balance in your online activity. 4. Mindful consumption. Watch what you eat online just as you should be picky about what you post. Interact with material that advances your personal development and is consistent with your ideals. The journey ahead for the Stoics. Adopting Stoic wisdom and keeping your goals hidden from others is a lifetime process rather than a destination. It's a continuous process that changes as you mature and change as a person. 1. Adaptation. Take a flexible and adaptive attitude to your work. Stoicism teaches us to adjust to the unexpected and accept the things we cannot control. 2. Resilience. Develop resilience to withstand setbacks and disappointments. Stoicism urges us to see obstacles as chances for development and education. 3. Journaling and reflection. Keep a Stoic notebook or periodically evaluate your choices and behaviors. You may measure your progress toward leading a moral life and help yourself embrace Stoic ideas with this activity. 4. Lifelong learning. Keep studying and developing your comprehension of Stoic philosophy. Though there are several additional Stoic writings and contemporary interpretations that might expand your understanding, Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is a timeless source of wisdom. 5. Community and support. Look for communities or associations with people who have similar interests in Stoicism. Talking with others who are on the same route as you may provide insightful advice, support, and encouragement. Leading a fulfilled life. Finding contentment and inner serenity is the ultimate purpose of adopting the Stoic way of life and not informing others about your ambitions. You may be satisfied no matter what happens outside of your control by acting in accordance with your principles and concentrating on what you can manage. 1. Purpose and meaning. Consider your actual goals and principles. You may get great meaning and purpose from your activities when you live in line with your principles. 2. Inner peace. Wisdom and self-control are the means by which inner peace is produced, according to the Stoic philosophy. When you don't depend on other people's acceptance and validation, you develop a calmness that is unaffected by outside happenings. 3. Resilience in the face of adversity. Stoicism gives you the skills you need to face life's obstacles head-on with elegance and fortitude. You may overcome challenges and come out of them stronger and more resilient than before if you approach adversity with a Stoic mentality. 4. Authenticity. Living a life that aligns with your beliefs and values is possible when you embrace authenticity. You turn into a real light in a society where expectations and demands from outside sources are common. 5. Legacy and impact. If you follow the precepts of Stoicism, the people in your vicinity may be affected for a long time by the decisions and deeds you do. Your path of inner development and self-mastery might encourage others to follow in your footsteps. Your life may be changed by the Stoic philosophy and the knowledge of Marcus Aurelius. By keeping your ideas a secret from others until later, you set out on a path of self-exploration, personal development, and satisfaction. You get knowledge on how to live a life that is consistent with your beliefs, accept authenticity, and develop resilience in the face of difficulty. The Stoic values of knowledge, bravery, justice, and temperance provide a way to self-mastery and inner calm among the chaos of the contemporary world. May you have the fortitude to face life's obstacles head-on and the discernment to lead a really satisfying life as you pursue your Stoic path. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Keep that in mind. You may realize your potential for a life full of knowledge, purpose, and satisfaction by adopting the Stoic attitude and exercising the wisdom of keeping your goals hidden from others. Proceed on your trip with the everlasting precepts of Stoicism as your guidance.